All right, today we are pulling back the velvet curtain on a very specific kind of online store. Now, on the surface, it's all about vampire erotica. But if you look just a little deeper, you'll find a brilliant e-commerce engine humming away underneath. We're going to deconstruct exactly how they built this thriving business on a super specific fantasy. Honestly, it's a masterclass in modern niche strategy.
Right off the bat, the brand sets this incredibly powerful atmospheric tone. You know, a tagline like this isn't just for show, it's an invitation, but it's also a filter. It instantly pulls in its target audience while telling everyone else, hey, this probably isn't for you. It's incredibly effective.
So that brings us to the core question here. How does a store built around such a unique fantasy create a business that's not just compelling, but multi-layered and successful? Let's break down their strategy, piece by piece.
Okay, so the first, and you could argue the most crucial element here, is the branding. The entire store is built on this incredibly focused identity. See, they're not just selling you stuff, they're selling a sanctuary for a specific desire. It's a promise of escape into a world that they've meticulously crafted.
And what they're doing is just classic niche marketing, but executed flawlessly. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, they're targeting a very specific group of people who are already passionate about this theme. This intense focus lets them build a powerful brand identity and, more importantly, cultivate an intensely loyal customer base that feels truly seen and catered to. So, how does all that branding actually translate into products? Well, they don't just sell you individual items, they've built what they call the digital crypt, which is essentially a curated ecosystem of content designed for total and complete immersion.
And let me tell you, this ecosystem is deep. It all starts with the core stuff you'd expect, the comics, the novels, the audiobooks. But look at the supporting content, sensual meditation tracks, wallpapers, screensavers. These aren't just random bonuses. They are very deliberate world-building tools. Every single piece is designed to reinforce the brand's universe.
The strategy here is crystal clear. This is not about a one-time sale. It's about building a complete world for you to live in. By offering these long-form stories right alongside quick animated motion tales, they're creating multiple ways for a customer to enter and, crucially, stay engaged within their universe. But here's the thing. A successful niche brand often can't survive on digital alone. So the next strategic move is absolutely brilliant. They bridge the gap between fantasy and reality by expanding into physical merchandise. This is all about making the brand tangible. And here you can really see the strategic logic behind offering both. Digital content, that's your high-margin, instant gratification product, super low overhead. But physical merchandise, that does something different. It builds a tangible, real-world loyalty. Think about it. A piece of wall art or a journal creates a constant presence for the brand right in the customer's daily life. And here's what that actually looks like in practice. We're talking wall art, journals, even stickers and puzzles. These aren't just add-ons. They're framed as physical artifacts of that digital world they've so carefully built. Even the blog plays a role, serving to deepen that sense of community, making customers feel like they're part of this exclusive hidden club. Okay, this is where the strategy gets really innovative. They've integrated modern technology to create this unique experiential upsell, literally merging their narrative content with physical sensation. It's wild.
I mean, this quote says it all, doesn't it? The goal is to use technology to deepen the immersion, to make the user feel the fantasy, not just read it. It transforms a passive reading experience into an active, physical one. And from a business perspective, that is an incredibly powerful and very difficult to copy selling proposition. So how does it actually work? Well, it's pretty straightforward. A customer picks a story, a comic, a novel, whatever. They connect a compatible pleasure device, and then the device's functions sync up in real time with what's happening in the story. This completely elevates a piece of content from something you just read to something you truly experience. And this is the absolute genius of the model. They take this ancient, timeless theme, Gothic romance, vampires, and they fuse it with cutting-edge interactive technology. That contrast creates something that feels both classic and completely modern at the same time, and it just sets them leagues apart from any potential competition. So let's tie all these different threads together. Let's take a look at the complete business strategy that makes this whole modern vampire's crypt so darn successful.
It really all boils down to three core pillars. First, you've got that thematic branding, using the consistent Gothic and erotic vibe to attract that very specific, very loyal niche. The second pillar is the product ecosystem. By mixing digital content with physical goods, they maximize the lifetime value of every single customer. And finally, the real kicker, tech integration, where they use hardware to create a unique, premium experience you just can't get anywhere else. And what's really crucial here is how each pillar perfectly supports the others.
So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, this brand isn't really in the business of e-commerce. By building this deep, multi-layered world and then integrating it with technology, they've successfully made the leap from just selling products to selling a complete, immersive, and most importantly for the bottom line, repeatable experience.
And all of this leaves us with a really big question for the future of online retail. As the digital world just gets more and more crowded, is this the playbook? Is building a deep, ultra-niche ecosystem for a dedicated and passionate community, is that the real key to creating a truly resilient brand? It's definitely something to think about.